Hello, I'm Lora Shields, staff developer at Shelby County Public Schools in Shelbyville, Kentucky. Welcome to our vodcast series, Shelby Speaks Looking Forward. We chose that subtitle for two reasons. We're looking forward to when we can be face to face with our students again, and we're also looking forward in time to the educational future of our district. What are Shelby County teachers learning in the middle of this non-traditional instruction experience? And how will it transfer and transform their classrooms when they are once again back inside schools? In this episode, we're here today with Beth Hoehner, who teaches third grade at Wright Elementary. Welcome to the vodcast, Beth.
Hi, Laura. How are you?
I'm great today. So I know you've been working for a couple of years on integrating some PBL practices in your third grade classroom. So talk about how that practice has helped you to transition to non-traditional instruction.
So our third grade team has worked on some PBL for a couple years now, and the transition at this point in time has been pretty interesting because we've all kind of had to figure out how are we going to be able to continue this PBL from remote locations. So for me, I've definitely had a crash course in how to use these technology platforms, Zoom, Flipgrid, to be able to continue the PBL with my kids.
Right.
It's been interesting because I was very fearful at the beginning, but as we've moved along, I've been able to see that these platforms are allowing me to be more efficient with the work. Our Zoom meetings each day are very interesting because it's less of me teaching and more of me getting a gauge on exactly what they need from me to be able to move forward in their learning. So we're all over the board in the work that we're doing each day, which is exactly what should be happening during a PBL in the classroom or out of the classroom. So sometimes I am meeting with a couple kids to teach how to put video links into Google Slides. Sometimes I'm doing a writing process refresher video to attach to Clever so that kids can go in and access that if they're writing an informational book when they need it. Just creating a bank of resources for them that will be there when they're ready for it.
So when you think about some of the things that we've been focused on in Shelby County around profile of a graduate, personalized learning, things like that, what kind of professional learning are you seeing happening within yourself?
I'm definitely growing in a couple different areas, definitely with technology. When I was in the classroom, there are so many amazing people in our building who are doing amazing things around technology. I've always been a little hindered in doing that just out of the fear of complicating the learning process for my kids. But this has definitely forced me to step into that area of unknown and not be so fearful, which I hope the kids see as well, that even as adults and teachers, that sometimes we're leery or fearful going into that unknown. But when we do it and we're open to that learning, then you have that opportunity to be more effective in the classroom.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're learning about some tools that are really helping you to manage the PBL and really kind of turn over some of the learning to students.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, and I know you talked about the profile and how you're seeing students really embody it.
Absolutely. So when I was thinking about, the 6 components of the profile of a graduate, and we want kids to be effective communicators, and we want them to be responsible collaborators and, in charge of their own learning. Completing PBLs through this remote situation that we're in now really forces them to be able to do that, because when we're Zooming and when they're creating Flipgrids, they have to be so clear in their communication and in the way they're working with kids that it's amazing how much learning is happening that's going to be real world applicable. when this is all over.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So if you can go back in time and think about Miss Hoehner in September last year, what advice would you give to your pre-NTI self?
To definitely not be fearful of technology. And so when I began to get those pushes from Mr. Green, or when I start seeing people in the school do some things that I think are really cool, to not immediately go to a place of, I may mess everything up if I try that, but find a way to learn more about it and step it into my everyday structure of my classroom. And I think just realizing that just because you try to implement one new piece, it doesn't mean you have to change everything that's already happening. And that's something that I've seen happen while we've been home, is that even though we're using the technology and it's all PBL work, I'm still able to keep some of the structures that I do in the classroom. So just going back and being willing and remembering that those things aren't so scary. You can keep normal and add new, and be more effective and efficient.
That's awesome. Beth, thank you so much for sharing how really this NTI time is helping you to engage in some professional learning that's really going to transform your instruction, going forward, or looking forward, as we say, for this podcast. Thanks a lot. Be sure to check out our Shelby Speaks Looking Forward playlist in our Shelby County Public Schools YouTube channel for podcast episodes. Thanks for watching.